Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Kairaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980-8483, 340-9400 or 635-9906.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151, or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
This is the Brunch on Kerr Fatou Live, and I'm Lamincha, our current affairs program that comes your way every Saturday. Well, over the past 3 weeks, we've been talking mainly about football, that is the African Nations Cup, and our participation there in the very first time? Well, we, as you all know, of course, we stopped at the quarterfinals. And as Gambians, of course, we congratulate ourselves for making history. We will talk a little bit about that today, much later in the program. But the big story today in our menu is the the much reported clash between economic soldiers and the separatist, Senegalese separatist movement, MFDC. What does this mean in terms of implications for security to the Gambia, and what are the way forward for the Gambia in dealing with these very tricky situations? With me in the studio to analyze all this are three gentlemen. On my far right is Sait Matty. He's a lecturer of political science at the University of the Gambia. Recently, Sait Matty had the opportunity to write a thing or two about his perceptions about the incident. Sait is here. Colonel Samsudin Sarr was a former army commander and Gambia National Army soldier who is very much familiar with security matters. He will be here with us to share his thoughts. And Dodou is deputy spokesman for the APRC, and he will talk to us from the political angle of what this could mean and what can be done to ensure that the Gambia and Senegal continue to live in peace, and what should be the Gambia's approach towards the MFDC. And towards the end, like I said, each of us will have our 1 minute or so thoughts on how our football went in Cameroon. So, gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Lamin, for having us.
Okay, let me start on the right now. Dodou, APRC, you are very familiar with, the politics of the Fonies, coming from the party that really enjoys the majority of support in the area. You must be familiar with the feelings and the reaction of the people, and maybe the dynamics of this economy, because you've spoken yourself a lot about this over the last 3-4 years, though. Although I must say, with a sharper tongue focus than perhaps now. But then, of course, I know you're familiar with this. So how did you react in your personal way when this thing happened?
Thank you very much, Lamin. And it's a very good afternoon to the viewers out there. As politicians, our focus is country, not based on party interests or individual perceptions. People always expect when things happen, we should politicize. I always see it differently.
Yes, that's true.
40 is part of Gambia.
Good point.
There's nothing specific or exceptional when we talk about Foni, because security matters is the nation at large.
Good point.
And wherever chaos begins, nobody knows where it is going to shift or turn to. So all we yearn for is a peaceful Gambia without compromise. This should be our stance. It's rather unfortunate. Some people are regionalizing it, some are politicizing it, others are even tribalizing it.
Wow.
I see it at a different perspective. Now, when you talk about Foni, all people think about is APRC.
Okay.
Yes, it is a region very loyal to the APRC party. And it's where the former president hailed from, His Excellency Jame, that is his birthplace. Whenever the issue arises, most people, they caption it as APRC Matan incident. It dates back to 2017 March, if I am right, when the Senegalese troops arrived to occupy Boyam and part of the Foni area. By then, it was to the knowledge of many. How many talked about it? It's like, okay, these are APRC, we need to put them under control. A lot of allegations by then that rebels are settled in Foni. Some of the Foni people are rebels. It was not treated as a national issue. Came the hot pursuit agreement in 2018, I think September. Still, most people, even our parliamentarians, APRC parliamentarians, were putting up the matter in parliament. They got no support. It's like they were on their own.
So you mean it was everybody against APRC at that time?
I could frame it like that. Because like you said,
they fail to realize that this is a national issue.
exactly, we've been talking about it, we've been addressing this issue far too long, but it was left to APRC alone. Maybe very few other people, even the media itself, hardly talked about it.
Okay.
You know,
They didn't see the
saw
greater,
it.
they didn't see the bigger picture.
Exactly, and this is what we were trying to define and to stamp our feet on, that this is not only APRC. But on the other aspect, I think our security have been crying about this. We have a security situation, I'll call it even a problem in this country. But blame I always put on those in charge of our security, the heads of the security. Because security is all about command. Maybe Colonel will talk about that. Because men in uniform cannot act on their own. You tell them go, they go, sit, and they are seated. So this is something too we need to understand. But those in charge of security, from the CDS, Inspector General of Police, the Minister of Defense, you talk about the SIS Director, Minister of Interior, I haven't seen them done much, if not press releases, and even to get them on the media and discuss these issues. It's been challenging.
Absolutely.
It's been difficult.
I can
because
attest to that.
I am not seeing
I've been following
and
them, except perhaps when the those arrested have been released. That time I got government officials to say,
that is the end part of it.
That's the end part.
When others worked it out, you come to collect the fruits of what others toiled for.
Yes.
Now, I am saying that positions come with responsibility. So if responsibilities are not being executed, why are they still maintained?
You're right. They
And
all
they are
dodge,
paid monthly
all
with all the
responsible
benefits
they
and
dodge the issue. We've been trying over and trying to get them confirm this and that, but no,
now,
nobody want to talk about it.
The other thing is, before we shift to the others, if you go to our borders, where does it stop? You don't see any fencing, any line. They will be pointing you, telling you under the tree, that's why it
You
stops.
know, there was this candidate who's, perhaps now we will have to agree with him, Mamadou Ba.
Yes.
He said we should put a fence.
Go to other countries. You'll be able to scout that this is the border.
Yes.
Because there's a perimeter. We don't have that. We're pointing at some houses, some trees. There's this old rock there. That's where it stops. How can you justify that? And again, I am saying that our borders are loose. Now, taking this incident, where Senegalese forces are chasing a vehicle carrying logs, if our forces were on the ground, they'll be able to stop the vehicle.
They'll stop it.
If the Senegalese too wanted to advance beyond Gambian territory, they'll tell, hey, this is where you should stop. That part is Casamance. But nobody was there, no one to be seen. So it means our border is fragile. And border of a country is important. What goes out, what comes in, should be checked, monitored, and make sure it is assessed. That is no joke. So for me, security, there are numerous lapses that we need to
We will come to this specific incident. Let me cross over. I jump the queue because he's an expert, and we will all have to have our take.
He's the expert.
He's the expert in the
Let's be
So, Sait, yes, I read a few lines about your analysis of the situation.
Yeah.
What exactly do you think? How strongly you feel that this is a very serious matter?
Yeah, I think the day that the event happened, I was not in the country. But then when I mean, on Monday I was here, but I was planning to go to a meeting. You know, when I had it, I was like, I did not know what happened, and I saw a lot of stories coming out. So when I came back on Wednesday, I decided to go there with the president of Gambia Press Union. So we went to Bujinga, where the internally displaced people were, were based. From there we went to Kampanti, we went to Kappa, and then from there we went right into Balen, where the whole incident. I mean, because we saw a report that was done by Kerr Fatou, and we went on the ground, and then we confirmed basically most of the things that were said on the Kerr Fatou interview we found there, where the Alcalo, Dodou was talking about security being present, but even the Alcalo confirmed that he told these people that this is where Gambia stopped. I mean, but then they just, did not listen to him. They just went right inside. Of course, our borders are porous, but of course we need to also understand the colonial setup. But the people have been able for a very long time to manage themselves, manage their relationship. For instance, I mean, you have Balen. For instance, we were told that most of their farms are based in the Casamance, on the southern Senegalese part. And then you have those elements across the length and breadth of the country. And it's not only common to Gambia, but many places, this is due to the colonial nature of that. So it is people from us here that are more focused on borderline, but people that are living on the borderline, are not really. But then the issue is, I mean, I was in Kappa, and this is where I saw, I mean, the bullets, on the wall, and also, I mean, also affecting the roof of the Alcalo of Kappa in particular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were there. We even picked some bullets down on the ground. So there was real fighting that was taking place, and this was on Gambian territory. Because when they attacked, then the story is that the Senegalese were retreating, and this is when the rebel also continued, advancing. And for me, the issue is Gambian soil cannot be used to fight any war. And this must be the message that should be clear to our government. It should be clear to all these forces that are part of that, because it's an affront to our own sovereignty. And so there is that trauma that people are faced with, but there's also this worrying because people do not feel secure. They prefer to be guided by their own security. Of course, we saw that the military deployed QRF, but then it went just around and then went back to their base in Canela. I'm not sure whether still they continue to monitor, but still the internally displaced people are fearful. They're scared to go back, and they're finding it difficult to eat. No government official, high-ranking government official haven't been there. People felt like they've just been neglected, and now they are caught between two enemies, and what they're gonna do. So
that
for us,
that's where the problem is. The vice president or minister or so and so should have been there.
I saw
high-ranking government officials.
I saw
even
a press
the president
statement.
could have gone there and said, "Look, this matter is serious. We have come here," and then people felt assured, even though the army did that. But
you see, we talk about the army, but the army is also under control. The civilian leadership that is in charge, they are the ones responsible. They are the ones responsible for the security of this country. They are the ones that are elected. These are the people that should, take the concerns of the people forward. They are the ones that deploy the military. They are the ones that push. So it is the civilian leadership that should be held responsible. And if they are the ones that make agreement, and nobody is sure about what sort of agreement is being made, and today, like, our military itself is caught in, they are caught within the process. They don't know how to react to the situation because nothing is clear. And these are the issues that need to be outlined. But foremost, what they need to do is to take care of those that are internally displaced, reassure them, ensure that, because some of them are even fearful that perhaps there are mines already been planted there.
Villages,
it might not be, but these are the perceptions. And when people are scared, and because of the way that they ran away from the fighting, that's a serious issue. It's a serious issue that we should all be, angry about, and we should also demand that it should never happen again. Of course, there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. I'm just from a radio program, and and these are issues that people are talking about. People are not happy in this country, especially when it comes to this incident. And Dodou is right. We're thinking like it's phony because we have politicized everything in this country. We think our security is politics. Security is not politics. Security is about our lives, our livelihood as well. It is about our safety. And what we need to do is to ensure that our political leadership take those decisions as quickly as possible, and to be too transparent with the public. Just to be hiding and expecting people to go about their business for what? They're not sure. And there are complaints that even every night, then you hear Senegalese helicopter on the, flying over the border. And these are all issues that are happening to the people. Talk less of arresting Alcalo and then picking a CID officer and then taking them to Senegal. We are not a colony of anybody. And this is the point that we need to always put forward. Because at the end of the day, tomorrow something can happen. They can pick me, they can pick him. What is that? So sorry, this is exactly how I feel.
Yeah, I can understand this issue. But now, Mr. Sarr, Colonel Samsudin Sarr, you have been in the army, even in a time when there was, in fact, a much more pronounced agreement, between Gambia and Senegal in terms of security. At that time, the Senegambia Confederation, etc. That time, you lived through all that. Now, from your expert opinion, where does the problem lies? The issue is this: the economic arrangements we all know have come to one, protect the new government, help the country stabilize itself in the wake of the upheavals that followed Jammeh's refusal to step down. 5 years on, we still have these economic arrangements, and the government of the day feel that there is still a need for them to stay, that they could be a backup force for our security reform. Only yesterday, ECOWAS confirmed that the military and police component of ECOMIC will stay in the Gambia, and there will be orders of some arrangement in Guinea-Bissau and other places. Now, let's talk about this. Inside the ECOMIC arrangement, when they were force deployed, Senegalese have always been the commanders. if I am right. I know of an operations commander who was also a Senegalese. The arrangement is such that the Senegalese troops are the ones that are posted to the border in Foni, which even at that time raised suspicion that why Senegal strategically placed? Are they going to serve the country or the economic mandate to protect the country, or are they there to serve Senegal's interests? Like he said, these people made a clarion call that this is about it's about something else, not just for the protection of this. Now we come to a point that the relationship between Senegal, the Gambians and the Senegalese forces there have become too bad now that they don't even trust. They're joining the rebels to, call for the removal of Senegalese troops there.
Yes, okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, and well spoken. Like you guys said a lot, and I love your initiative and strength to go to the border and to talk and see what's happening there. You should have been there too, Lani.
I sent a reporter.
No, you shouldn't send.
I sent a special reporter.
This is a big one.
I sent a special reporter who went right down to the bush.
Okay, that's it. All right. Now, I don't know. I just don't know how you guys can forget my position on this thing from the start. I have been one vocal person who was always asking for why. Why are they here? Yes. What are the terms and conditions of their presence here? That it should be made public, that it should be ratified at our National Assembly, so that in the event of a crisis, we will know what to say. But it has never been done. And I have said it over and over. You remember, I was here the other day and I said, let's even sue the borough government to get these guys out, because we don't know what they are here for. Okay, and because what I saw from the initial stage, I was very much against the presence. They are coming in even, because I thought, like most Gambians, that what they were peddling around, that MFDC was in the army, members of the MFDC, I thought it was true. And that when they come in, it's going to be violent, and the country was going to fall apart, and rebels and bandits will take over the country like they do in fragile nations. Even well-entrenched nations like Libya have been taken over by rebels. So I was afraid of their coming in. When Jammeh surrendered and left, I said, well, then it's over. There is no need. But you see, the mindset of the rebels are here was what, in fact, prompted all this security sector reform. Because they thought the threat was the army, and we have to look at how to reorganize the army, weed out the bad elements and all that. They came, nothing like that happened. And they still continue trying to chase, what do I call it? Wild goose chase. Chasing something that doesn't exist. Looking for a problem that doesn't exist. Wrote a lot of papers. I heard it's good talking point for a speech. Yeah, the first
security policy.
Defense policy, security policy in the,
wow.
And I was still saying, what security defense policy? These are all, and I was still insistent that what is it here for? What are they here for? What are they here for? Until this event happened. When it happened, for days I did not hear anything from the government. And for the first time, it was Macky Sall who made a statement in the wake of the death of their soldiers, who said that they are here to protect the borders from deforestation, the logging that is...
he call it illegal logging.
I say, whoa, for the first time they've told us what these guys are here for. Those even ECOWAS know that they are here, but he said ECOWAS send them here for that. Okay, now...
He said, how he put it was, he said he's saddened by the death of Senegalese soldiers fighting against illegal
logging.
That's
not even the responsibility of soldiers. Illegal logging should have been given, that responsibility should have been in the hands of the forest guards and
Gambian forest guard or Senegalese.
Both.
And
the police, if it comes to the worst.
Yes, if it comes to the worst.
Yes.
Just out of hand.
But what I also, so when I saw that, I said to myself, wow, now we are facing the first security threat that I believe should be handled seriously, because this is the greatest existential threat to our security ever seen since Kukoi days.
So you mean when President Sarr said this, you picked a lesson and a new thing says, okay, now the President Sarr is saying that fighting against illegal timber trade is also part of the economic mandate.
Yeah, he said, no, in fact, he said, yeah.
Senegalese.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
All along, like you and I, it was like, we want to stabilize the nation, democracy, transition, we need elections. I was looking at all those and I thought, look, our police are very good in policing the country. Our army, they are very good. To be honest with you, I now understand, I've been finding out that we have well-trained soldiers recently who can take out all these rebels if they are given the equipment. I know about it. So, you know, like the idea of Salifou Sadio standing there trying to tell people, he may be battle-hardened and already tested, but it takes just one confrontation and you will see battle-hardened people ready to combat, to fight anything. You see,
but is it our business in the Gambians
to some extent
to
yes.
engage?
No. Listen, to some extent, I'm going to say yes, because as much as I was against the presence of Senegal and all that, I never knew what was. I also don't think it is right. About 200 meters from our border, you have armed gang of men who, in the name of a freedom in the name of trying to carve a nation of their own, is no longer in existence, because Salifou Sadio cannot run a country. Salifou Sadio is not even part of the hardcore original Jolas who we are calling.
No, but is it our business if they are not? Like you said, if they are not in our country, so yes, why are we concerned?
No, because we should be concerned because of what happened
just now.
Yes.
But can't one argue that this incident was provoked by people from our side of the land?
Yeah. No, I don't, because
that's what happened.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
It's both of us. Let's be realistic. Gambia, I was just reading about this Drame and Brothers import and re-export of timbers in the Gambia, approved by the Gambia government.
Yes. So there we go.
We have a market here for these timbers. We are destroying a forest that, if we are not careful, in the next 15-20 years, we may not have rain here.
Our forest is already gone. If you are talking about this timber, ours is gone.
Ours is gone,
yeah. And
they have taken out almost 1/3 of the Casamas forest. And they are there. It's all about deforestation now, logging. You see the size of the logs that are being transported. You know that these guys are using not axes like ordinary, they are using chainsaws, and to lift them and put them on trucks. I'm sure they are using heavy forklifts.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so there is big business in Casamas.
It's an organized business.
And we are also not doing anything to stop it, because we are telling them, commit the crime, we have the market here. Yeah.
And they can come to the Gambia.
Yes.
So you are suggesting that the Senegalese have some justification, trying to be in the Gambia, because it's only being in the Gambia that they can stop it.
No. I don't think that's even right. I think, the two governments should sit together and take this seriously and first cut down the demand. Cut down the source of the demand. Why do we give license to people to be re-exporting timber in this country when we don't have timber?
When we don't have timber, are we not encouraging the smuggling?
Yeah. Those guys in the forest, they're not fighting for independence. No. Because I am looking at now the whole of Senegal as geared towards, leaning towards voting Sonko to become the next president of Senegal.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big possibility.
The newly elected mayor of
Ziguinchor, yes. And that guy is looking at running Senegal as one state
and not
Casamas being given independence.
No, that's not his agenda.
So, the idea of Casamas independence and all that, that is archaic. People are not, now we have...
That's no longer that's no longer... It's no longer the argument.
Now we have armed gangs who are for the money. The money is, you can get it from the Gambia. If you cut this wood and nobody stops you, put them in a truck, whoever can smuggle it and come to Gambia, you'll get the money, bring the money, we buy more arms and ammunition to continue the business. The first thing is, let's stop the business.
Exactly.
If we don't stop the business, these guys are going to do it again. And I was shocked to hear Salifou Sadio saying that if this happens again, they're going to bring the fight to us.
Yeah, he said that.
Now, what happened? They're going to log again, put a truck and bring it into the Gambia and see who's going to pursue it. That's what happened. That's what prompted the whole chaos. So they're going to do it again, and because if they stop, they're going to go broke. Now, but the market is here. We have to stop the market in order to stop the crisis. I don't like having armed rebels in about 100 meters, 200 meters from our border. That's a threat to our national security. If incidents like this should continue 1, 2, 3 times, OIC conference is not going to happen here.
Well, okay, let's to be fair with Salif Sadio. He said, I mean, they've been fighting for 40 years.
Yes.
But they never had any incident with Gambia.
Yes.
So, and all that time they were in Gambia, near Gambia border, as well as Guinea-Bissau border.
They were at the Guinea-Bissau border. EFOC.
But
EFOC was their main base.
But for a long time they've been operating around the very near Gambian border. We could hear Senegalese were fighting them.
Yes,
I was in C4 10 years ago.
Because you see, the Senegalese forces know more than we do about their movement, their presence, and everything. I think that is why they were also pushing this agenda up at the United Nations that Gambia is complicit in the MFDC rebellion.
Yes.
That's why, and they sold that, and people bought it. What they presented to the command at the United Nations to endorse it, we don't know. And these are things that our security forces should look at, But if it comes to really, trying to look for this peace and tranquility of both states, because I don't want to see only Gambia cannot be.
Gambia cannot be at peace when Senegal is not.
Senegal is not.
Yeah.
Likewise,
that's true.
Senegal cannot. So, when people call me, they call me everywhere. Hey, Sam, you were the one who said this Senegal is right. Senegal is right. I say yes, but I didn't know that there were heavily armed people ready to come and conduct checkpoint in the Gambia.
Yeah, that's what basically happened. You didn't hear that?
Yeah, they mentioned that. Yeah. They mentioned that. But
no, even the operations officer at the 4th Battalion in Kanilai, firing, Captain Faring Sanyang, he said that when the MFDC mounted a checkpoint in Fonyi, he was the one who went there to tell them, no, I'm afraid you can't do this. He was the one who persuaded them to go out. So they virtually mounted a checkpoint in the Gambia.
Yeah, that's even hideouts in Kappa, in Jikes, they were there.
That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
With heavy
I mean, they are saying that this is provoked by Senegalese.
No.
That's what they said.
No. This is provoked by the illegal business that is going on between these two countries. That we are depleting a forest that's going to affect all of us.
Yes, of course, because afforestation, climate change doesn't know borders.
Doesn't know borders.
Yeah, that's true.
And those who are relying upon this, using their MFDC 40-year rebellion, to me, it's not honest. It's not an honest excuse. If you want to cut this wood and bring it into the Gambia, I hate it as much as I see the fight in the border. I hate seeing the wood being cut and brought for sale.
But for me, the interesting part is the wood that are cut is not from that side. It's cut from the other side.
It's Casamas.
Yeah, in Casamas. But Fonyi became like they became trapped in the whole process. Even though they just used as a transit point, but still that's where they're fighting. That's where they're fighting.
Well, what I can't understand from Sam's analysis that Sam wanted to reduce. The whole thing now to this illegal timber. Now reducing the other aspect, the fundamental problem being fighting for independence.
Yes.
He said that is no longer relevant.
You know what I think.
If you listen to Salif Sadio, he's saying that he called the place my country. He called Casamance my country. So that's why I want to believe.
Excuse me. Name me one person who is prominent in the demand for the independence of Casamance, other than Salifou Sadio now.
Okay. You mean there's no political force?
There's no political force.
So it's just a military.
It's just a fighting unit, and led by somebody who is just a combatant. he has little knowledge of anything other than combat.
He said
you see, for me the point is that the fighting took place in Gambian soil. What the demands of the Senegalese are, what the demands of the rebels are, that becomes secondary for me, especially when these people are caught. What shouldn't happen is that they brought the fight to our soil. And where I agree with him is the issue of the timber. If the timber is the reason, and people are saying, can Senegal stop that right in their border and not come right inside?
Senegal has failed to do that.
They failed to do that.
They can't stop it.
So the issue is where they are stationed is more strategic, is because Fonyi is where the other side of Fonyi is that where the rebel base is. But then the timber comes from all the way and right into there. Those people have no business in dealing with that. And like you said, you talk about drama and drama, because these are the people that are benefiting from the trade are people that are based here. And these are the people that our government is giving that green light to export the trade. And yet we are talking about communities that cannot, they have their farms, they cannot farm because they are caught in this kind of war. What needs to be done is that both the MFDC and then the Senegalese must be warned clearly that our territory is not for fighting.
Okay, now, going by what you just said, if at all now is the timber trade, why is it that the Senegalese fail to contain it in their territory? Why do they have a need to stay in our country to fight? Can they go to the bush from the source and stop that there?
You see, what you guys missed from the initial state was that, removal of Jammeh was more of a Senegalese objective than even ECOWAS objective. They used token forces from these units to make it a regional, to make it a regional issue, when in reality, it was Senegalese agenda. Jammeh and everything that he had represented. And we all go with it, with the flow. Everybody wanted him out,
at the time.
And in the process, they also put in their objective. They could not, at that time, walk into Fonyi or across the border and put a base there, because that would have triggered a fight with the rebels, and they were going to be very cautious. They did not even know the strength of the rebels. And don't forget, when they chased the truck, I understand, it was the fight started in Casamas.
Yes,
because they drove. I think it was a bait.
Some people said, there was an argument, but if you listen to Salif Sadio, Salif, he was speaking as if he's saying that these people they actually came to provoke him and his base, that by shooting in his territory.
No, I think what happened, according to what I understand, these guys, Senegalese, they did not even know that they passed the base.
The border, yes, that's true.
They passed the base,
yes,
and they assaulted them from the back.
Exactly.
So they were fighting back to come to their base.
Yes.
That's
what many people said had happened. Yeah. But if you listen to the rebels will say, no, these people came to...
with the rebels.
Yes.
When they entered their territory, the rebels started attacking.
Yes. The rebels attacked them.
When
they entered the rebel territory.
Yes. They did not even, what I understand, they did not even know that they were in rebel territory.
Yes, that's what
I informed. Like we met the Alcalo of Balen, who was already molding blocks.
Okay.
When you are there, you see where the border is. Like Dodou was saying, it's like a tree. You can see the tree with some of the things there. I know the team went there. And so those guys told them, like, you are leaving Gambian territory now.
And they told the Senegalese soldiers.
They told those that were chasing.
That you are now leaving.
Yeah, you are leaving Gambian territory. Because that's when, the same road that the truck followed from Kampanti, Kappa, and all those people will tell you that this is where the truck
goes to Casamance.
And then they saw the chase. And so this guy went past, and the Alcalo told them, you are leaving Gambian territory. He told them that. And even where he was there molding, when I saw the tape, we went there to corroborate that that story. And in fact, he mentioned that even before the shooting started, he was there. Like when you stand there, you'll see the bush. Then he said that some soldiers came back before the shooting started. They were talking on their phone, and then they went back. And that's when they went back, that's when the shooting started. And that was the time that they also packed and then decided to leave. And so the fighting started in the Casamance region, and then it started coming in. Move into the territory.
You see, I think Senegal had a bad intelligence there. But by now they should have known what they were going to face if they had to cross that red line. There is a red line that they crossed.
So in other words, they mistakenly crossed the red line.
They probably deliberately never knowing what the level of threat they were going to face.
Yeah.
Because I understand, they went with regular rifles. rifles. I think they went with an APC.
Well, I
also.
think,
But they were taken out by an RPG.
I see.
RPG. So, you know, that was not accounted for, because if I am to go and confront a force with RPG, you know, and all these heavy weapons that I had were applied on the ground, I would prepare a far better, more formidable force than they had really moved into Senegal with. And I think...
So they could have mistakenly strayed into the border in chasing this truck.
Why wouldn't you understand your territory, in fact? Where you are
that's what he said. That's why
you know. Why wouldn't you understand that?
That's why he said.
And why wouldn't you build relationship if you are here under ECOMIC? Why wouldn't you build relationship with the community?
Within the community.
Yes.
I mean, to know the
like you know, the issue is the rebellion has been going for
they
long.
have failed to have the confidence of the community. I mean, if they had a very good relationship.
You hear those stories, like you know, previous commands would be different. They would have gone into the community, say like we are neighbors, but there is a lot of complaint about the current know contingent forces that is there.
Yeah.
Because always, I mean, people are being
there's already bad blood between them.
Yeah. So there are those issues. And
unlike the economic Ghana in the north.
Where they are even supporting the healthcare system.
Yeah, they are helping. They are doing
that. But those are symbolic.
But of course, that
but at least if you are there for peacekeeping, what do you expect? Those are the issues that are
symbolic but very important.
Yes, but you know, like the combatants, especially those who came in the beginning, you know, those were out to fight.
Wow.
Over time, it has changed.
Yeah.
In fact, people have been telling me they now just make money. You come here, you are paid by European Union a lot of money, and before you leave, you can buy car and stuff like that and go home. So, you know, like it is a money-making, you know, cash cow for the soldiers, who ordinarily, instead of going to peacekeeping for Darfur and others which are close now, Gambia is the, you know, is the place they can get money from. But I am thinking that it has come to a point where. All right, everybody is asking, let them leave, let them leave. To me, I think it's a little premature for them to leave now.
No, but what about for them to leave the Fonyi area and then you
rotate?
Can they leave?
Why
is it difficult, Sam?
Can they rotate and then bring Nigerians?
Can they put Nigerians there?
The community there, they don't mind. It's not the question of economic.
Yes.
The community is like they are caught between two enemies, and that is their worry.
But would the other forces want to really play the role of stopping the logging?
But we said that is not their duty. We said that is not the duty of the forces.
Yeah.
But
that's what Macky Sall said.
I mean, this is not Macky Sall's country. Let us be clear about that.
Yeah, but Macky Sall
is very Macky Sall's country.
Macky Sall is very instrumental in what is going on.
But this is not his country.
Can I say this? Okay. Can I say this? Salifu Sajo saying. They've been fighting for 40 years.
Yeah, he said.
Now, intelligence-wise, the Senegalese forces, they know the strength of the rebels. And they've been engaging them before.
Yes.
Now, the question, why can't they fight the rebels in their own territory?
Yes,
because the rebels has been defeating them in those territories. So they don't want to take that risk of sacrificing men. Like, it is a source of income for the rebels. They're not compromising it. If you go deep that territory, they're going to attack you. And for far too long, they cannot suppress that inside their own territory. Now, they're using our soil and possibly to lure us into supporting them to fight the rebels. Because when you talk about security, the hot pursuit mentions about joint operation. But they're doing it single-handedly, which is a failure to that agreement.
Senegalese.
Yes.
They're doing it single-handed.
Exactly. Which is a failure to that agreement. Because what I heard from the Minister of Defense, he said the host pursuit is about jointly to do it together. But our forces are nowhere to be seen. If it was a joint operation chasing that log, they would not end up into Casamas territory.
Yes.
Was it also intentional from the Senegalese forces to provoke the rebels? So that the Gambians too could engage in fighting the rebels?
That's what the rebels
I am just asking. It could be.
The rebels claim that
it could be to that truck with the logs.
Yeah.
It could be pre-planned so that they would lure them to a rebel territory area so that they can also fight and come inside the Gambia.
Or he thought
it could be either way.
He thought he can find sanctuary because the Senegalese will not pursue them there.
The way out is we should take charge of our own security.
Simple and clear.
Either we're going to do it alone or jointly, but we should take charge. We have men and women in uniform who are capable of doing it. More than these economic forces, I can guarantee you that. Why are they sidelined? This is again where I question about the leadership. Civilians are voted, they're in charge of our security. How much experience? The president has never wear any uniform. So those he appoint as advisors, CDS and the like should engage the president. And I am saying, if he does not heed to what you say, what is wrong with stepping aside, resigning?
Simple.
What is the problem? You tell people, this is my job, this is what can secure this country. He doesn't agree, I am out. But you cannot dance to that tune, being paid every month, enjoying all the facilities and benefits. You want to make statements, press releases,
you
and kill us with big grammar when people don't have peace in their comfort zones. I think the realities must be spelled out clearly. I will not leave out those in charge of security.
No, I want to just clarify the situation here about what hot pursuit means. Hot pursuit, you know, the way it is conducted in the Gambia in this wake of this problem, it's not really hot pursuit. It's not. You know, hot pursuit is an agreement between two countries.
Drag the mic towards you. Okay.
Yeah,
now you are a tall man.
Yeah. Two countries in which, you know, like, if the crisis had happened in Senegal and they pursue them towards the Gambia, that's where the real meaning of the definition of hot pursuit applies. But these guys are in our territory as Senegalese, chasing, like we call them rebels, criminals, whoever, who are trying to infiltrate into our country, back to their country, and then scams happen. I don't even know whether the military has a definition for that. What transpired in this is it. So you cannot use this hot pursuit message as a story to back what happened there. What happened is really mind-boggling to me. That, you know, that is why I said we have to look at again the security policy of this country. Security policy of a country is dictated by your national threat. And it should also formulate our foreign policy now, because this has to be taken up to AU, ECOWAS, and if necessary UN, where we sit with the Chinese, who are part of the login.
Yes.
We sit with the Indians, they also have a login company here, and the Pakistani, and said, this is no longer only about deforestation, like what is happening in the Amazon, but it is a threat to our national security. Because this can really change the dynamics overnight. You know, because they have deployed soldiers. I know Gambian national soldiers are there on the border. Do they have the determination and courage to stand and fight for something that they do not really understand? I don't know.
Or that they feel is not their problem.
This is what I'm saying. And if you start killing them, then the country will ask for answers. And if you look at the trend
already started asking for answers.
Yes, if you look at the trend of government change in the sub-region, it emanates from this kind of nonsense.
Kind of trends, yes.
You know, we have to stop this. I mean, I have been talking about what is wrong with telling us what we have agreed with these people. It's about time.
But how do we get ourselves out of this? What should Gambia do to remain peaceful without having problems with Senegal or the separatists?
The separatist fight for whatever they are doing is now firmly linked with their logging business. It is what is arming them, it is what is feeding them, and it is what is making them thick. If this logging business is stopped, it will render them inactive.
How can Gambia help stop it?
Well,
that is by what? You've just quoted that you've seen a new company that's been licensed by the Gambian authorities to do it.
And so the Chinese also are.
The Chinese are here.
Yes.
So are you suggesting that if at all we are not deploying soldiers, that's out of it, to stop it? If we cannot stop it,
yes.
Why don't we kill the infrastructure that promotes it? That is no login license, no log transportation from our ports.
Yes.
So you think that will kill it?
I believe so. It's not I think. I'm sure it is going to kill it.
Yeah, because they cannot take it to Dakar.
They cannot take it to Dakar. Casamance, Singanzor has a port that they cannot take it there. They cannot take it to Guinea-Bissau. Why should Banjul be doing it?
Yeah.
So,
I see no such a fundamental problem.
So we are responsible for the deforestation.
For me, what I cannot understand is that.
So if we are not, he said something. If we are not and cannot get involved as to who should cut the woods in Casamance, because the wood there and the territory does not belong to us.
Yeah.
So we cannot use our soldiers to go and stop anybody there. But we can contribute our way by ensuring that there is no market or infrastructure or facilitation for its trade in our territory.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we know that the wood that they're dealing with is a wood that is banned. I mean, internationally we're talking about that.
Rosewood.
Yeah,
So we have an obligation.
I mean, we have an
as
obligation
a member of the community,
exactly,
of the world community,
exactly,
to ensure our role. That if we cannot fight it through use of arms, but we can abolish the infrastructure that encourages it.
But the sad part is that our government is involved.
Yes,
the sad part is that our government is involved.
Under which ministry?
That's forestry.
I mean, they're giving.
The minister had always denied that. He said they even prosecuted people. He cited cases that they prosecuted people. But the BBC documentary clearly implicated Gambian officials.
Yes.
I mean, there have been several reports.
I think if we take the courage and do it and stop it for 1 year, 1 year only, we will stop the deforestation and we will disarm the rebels. Trust me. Because they will not have anywhere. If you don't have a market, you will not go for anything. Well, I'm not an economist, but I know supply and demand.
So now, why was that not the case over the last 22 years or so?
Well,
for me personally,
because
I mean, I know that Gambia and Senegal, like we said here, the Senegal in trouble, Gambia is in trouble. Likewise, Gambia in trouble, Senegal is in trouble, and that's why what is needed urgently and most urgently is maybe a national conversation, even a regional conversation. He suggested even going all the way to the UN, which I think is critical, because we are talking about our government being involved in a process that one is illegal, but secondly based on their bilateral or multilateral agreement. I mean, a community or people are being put at risk, and yet few people are benefiting from the riches, and yet the rest of the country is suffering, and we are likely to suffer for a very long time.
No, in fact, it could be a threat to our national security.
It is already. It is already.
But then we don't know the ultimate, the ultimate crisis it could create over here, because when it erupts, we can lose our peace and freedom, and probably we will fight forever. Because these people, there are people who are just looking for trouble. When you start trouble,
that's when they
find it, and they will never want to see peace restoration of peace anymore, because they cannot survive in an orderly environment where Sarr, Lamin Cham, Sait will sit down and discuss realistic
and
things.
Disagree and agree.
No,
for them, they want disorder, chaos.
Yes, survival of the fittest. That's what happened to most of these countries you are seeing, going in crisis mode all over the world, including Iraq, Afghanistan, here, Libya, and it's spreading. So, don't think that it cannot happen in the Gambia.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it is. I'm saying that it's already happening. Some people are internally displaced. They cannot go to their homes. I mean, there are signs and symptoms that are already there.
Some are already traumatized.
Yeah, very highly traumatized. I am telling you, the alcalo that we in Kappa, like if you look at the house, you see blood all over. And this guy was sick. He couldn't run. The family left him, and he was there alone, trying to hide under the bed. And these are the human stories that you hear, the real stories that you hear, and then it makes me angry. What about if it was me?
I saw. In fact, I think MFDC rebel leader himself said it. I saw a video of people who were picking bullets in the cattle. In a cattle field. I mean, Sajo himself said
we empty cases. Yes.
We went there.
Empty cases from a cattle field. You saw it.
The event happened on the 24th Monday.
24th January.
We went there like this Wednesday. We picked bullets in Kappa.
I saw a video. Even Sajo himself.
No, a lot of rounds were fired there.
No, despite whatever you may think of him, he said he's saddened by the fact that people are not going to school, and people have fled their village with their cattle left, with their crops left with cattle to destroy. He said he felt the human nature. In fact, he said that was the reason he stopped fighting. I mean, he may be trying to intimidate the Gambians to warn us.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Yeah, that to say, look, this is a matter that you can't join.
That's
So
what it
don't
is.
give support to Senegalese.
Yeah.
Leave us with the Senegal, because he knows, of course, the Senegal, like you said, the Senegalese can't enter that bush. So now, Sam, where are military solutions? Normally, people start with peaceful means.
Yes.
Where we have now come to a dead wall, that the military solution is not the issue now. Don't you think this whole Casamance thing should be brought back to the conference table within ECOWAS? I mean, ECOWAS should not see this like Senegal want to see this just as a rebel. We don't deal with bandits. I mean, if you say you don't deal with bandits, yet you cannot keep peace in your country and dragging everybody there, there's a need now to deal with the bandits, one way or the other. What people you call bandits?
Clearly.
Let's come to a conference table and say, look, see this thing about Senegal is now this thing about secession and other things are out of fashion now. Everybody's now integrated. Get the rebels to believe that, look, if it is about marginalization, it's about we can work, we can fix that. You're now beginning to have a president, in fact, one of your own. All those things can change the dynamic.
Now you have to understand one thing. Let me just tell this story. In 1997, I was working around 6 a.m.
You were in the Confederate Army, was it?
No,
87.
No, 97 rather. 97.
Okay, you were.
That's it. I was
You were
called.
either gone or you were in the army then.
No,
You were deputy commander.
Yes.
Okay.
And they called me and said that they caught somebody suspicious around the Mile 2 area. And I was like, we all went to police headquarters with, NIA, everybody.
Yeah.
And we found this gentleman. I still remember the last name is Sarr. A young man, and we asked him, interview him, and he told us that he's a rebel from Senegal, Casamance. What are you doing here? He said he's tired of fighting because most of his colleagues have died and he has never got a wife, a child, or anything. If I can get a job here, any job, I'll stay here and start a life because I'm tired of fighting. I say, but then you are Sarr, what put you into this? Guess what he told me? He said, we have two factions of the MFDC. We are from the Mandinka faction of the MFDC, and there are Jolas. We work together, and the agreement is when we have our independence, a Jola president, a vice president must be Mandinka. We were at the police area, and it was like, what the heck are you talking about? Saying this is the agreement. So even when you talk about now, even their own kind, like Sonko is a Jola. Salif Sadio is not a Jola. Salif Sadio is a Mandinka.
No, he's a Jola.
Huh?
He's a Jola.
Well, I think Sadio can be found in.
I don't care what people
No,
are.
but what I'm trying to tell you,
The issue
Yes,
is
he
more
speaks
complicated.
very well.
It's more complicated.
Yeah, I just want to help him.
Yeah.
My mom is Baji. My grandmother from my mother's side is Filije Sadio and is related to Salif Sadio. I even have my uncles in that rebellion. So I know that Salif Sadio is a Jola.
Yeah, but then, okay, this is a story I thought I was going to read.
Yeah,
because
it's an example
I
of
encountered
the
a
dynamics,
situation where this Sadio guy told me about this incident. That is why I had always assumed that he came from that clan.
In that area, they speak all these dialects very
But
fluently.
what is also important, Lamin, is that the new dynamic Jola youth and all those in the political landscape struggling for leadership in Dakar tomorrow
are
not thinking about separating Casamance from the rest of Senegal.
I see. They no longer think like
Usman Sonko is looking at Senegal as a whole.
Yes.
And when he comes to power, I think he is not going to say, yeah, that was Macky Sall, you take your country, we're going to leave. No,
he will not do that.
he will maintain the same territory as it is in size, composition, elements,
and then
everything.
and then deal with the internal.
And they'll deal with this internal insurgency. So that is why
Perhaps he will be better placed to deal with it.
He could.
Yeah.
Because all this, because you have some stupid stories about it's only those who are in northern Senegal
who are
speaking
enjoying
different language from those living in
the
Casamance who are pursuing this. but this is for us, our different tribes. So they tribalize it, regionalize it, and all those things. So I have the feeling that we have to sit down now, and I don't want to. Everybody is up.
Well, let's talk about it because it was been said. The Senegalese had always suspected Jammeh of. In fact, they accused him of aiding the rebels, or at least giving them sanctuary or something like that. They accused him of that. So if that was their perception, 5 years after Jammeh, why is it that the problem is not solved? If Jammeh was the problem.
Can I say this?
Yes.
Some people might have the perception that Jammeh was the problem. It's not about Jammeh. What the separatist rebels are fighting for is independence for Casamance. Most people don't know. They even have their own national anthem. They also have their own flag.
The man called, at his recent press, you know what he said? He said, my country, Casamance.
Yeah, this is what I am putting to you. It is beyond what people can understand. Unless you are within or amongst them, you will be able to know the concept. There were negotiations before in France, in Italy, other places, but they are holding on to nothing but their independence. And they will fight to the last man. Clear all of them, then you can get what you want. It is beyond what people can think. And it's not only from the logging business that they are having source of income. No. Their own people, their own natives in the diaspora and other places are also supporting, because they also want the same thing what the rebels are fighting for. That's why I said the Senegalese forces, they know the strength of the rebels. This is why they don't attack them in their own territory. They've been trying and failing. 40 years, it's not 40 months. It's been a very long time. Many presidents come and went. But these rebels too, they're not sitting there empty-handed. It will take more than Senegal and Gambia to settle this issue. Like the suggestions you are making, get ECOWAS, AU, UN, all of them involved.
It has to be
look at the issues thoroughly. They will need to go and even meet the rebels, not to only tell them come here, but go to them. You will understand what is within them. Rebellion, because the region itself is big. Casamance is a very big area. It's not like it's just a small settlement. No. And they keep rotating and moving. Rebellion is all about tactics. If it is only based on one base, you can attack and take them out. But they also have intelligence. Even within Senegal, within the Gambia, don't undermine that. Whatever you are preparing from within, they will get the information. They will not wait for you.
I accept what you are saying.
It's an organization.
Yes.
It's an organization.
Yes.
But what I'm saying also,
that's why I said,
if you are fighting for a region to hold on to say you want to sit and take your own region, and you fight for 40 years, and you cannot show us one region that you hold to justify that you have gained any progress.
You mean Senegal or the Separatists?
The Separatists.
They're in their country.
No, what I'm saying is, I mean, like, you have to get something that will show some kind of legitimacy.
That is what they have shown.
Organization.
That is what they have shown.
Administration.
That's the belief they have. That Casamance is theirs and nobody is taking it.
No. Because if you look at Casamance,
that is what they have shown last Monday.
No.
That people came into their territory according to them. They chased them out.
No. This is no.
You know what? The Senegalese have been trying.
I know. I have been. You see, after the Confederation, I was with a lot of Senegalese who left Gambia and were deployed in Casamance. And they have been fighting there a lot. And I know also what they have done there. I've been talking to them. I know a lot of my friends who were killed in the Confederation and a lot of people who survived too. So it is not that they were having upper hand over them. No, at the area of Bissau, at some point, they had this region called EFOC. It was a huge base that the Senegalese destroyed, to be honest with you. But now, I don't know about you or me, I have never factored the presence of these people this close to our border. And
you never thought that was happening.
That has been there very long time.
I have never really imagined that they are this close to our border.
That is a big military intelligence failure.
I mean,
No. It's not military. Probably.
Intelligence
No.
failure.
Because if the Senegalese were aware of it, I find them very foolish to take the risk they took with that size of force to cross into that region and be ambushed. So unless I am told that they also don't know.
Yeah, I want to believe they didn't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They cannot know.
I mean,
so you see, it is not a major force. He seemed to know because he said they were there for a long time.
Yes.
You know, they were there. So I don't know, and I would not like it. I don't want a rebel base in our border. I don't.
You know, let me help you too with this. It's not like their bases. It's directly strategized at that border that you just enter, you see it. No. Like he said, it's an organization. As people think what to do, they're also thinking of the other way around. Maybe when you engage, even a lot of Gambians who travel through Kasama, sometimes they'll tell you, people direct me a way out. Once you miss one route, you end up at a rebel camp. Yeah. You will find yourself in to know that this is a rebel camp. And even sometimes for a way out, they will escort you to show you the route that can make you avoid another rebel camp.
In fact, we talked to a villager who said, I mean, if you lose your way around there,
exactly, you will end up in their camps.
They will tell you, look, this is not where you should go.
So I think this is our threat, to be honest with you. Because if they are, if they are now putting locks, because that's what they said. Salif Sadio said, if this happens again,
he said it.
They're going to bring the fight to us. So what happened?
Using our territory to launch into their territory.
No. Listen.
That's what he said.
All right, let's say, let's start from the beginning. That loggers from Casamas came in and were chased back to their region, and they hit them, and then they come back. I don't think the Senegalese forces are going to be that stupid to do it again. Yes, if they see loggers and just to bait them, they will apply a different strategy.
They will wait until they
they will apply a different strategy from trying to chase them back to. And I will think that.
Sorry, I mean they did not come. Easier. They did not just come in. They used, they used the logging that area like where the rebel is. If they don't cut trees there, they cut some other parts of Senegal, other parts of Casamas or Senegal. I mean, we confuse this Casamas Senegal. We're talking about Senegal. I mean, and then they use the back road, and that's the way they try to come. That's why Senegal is on the main road. But this one, when they sometimes they try to beat the checkpoint. That's why they use the communities, use those kind of roads.
You see, the issue is, okay, you know when you say Casamas, it's not just Fodi.
Yeah, exactly. All the way to
even Kabadai, part of Kabadai, that is Kiang Jara.
Exactly.
You go up to Nyamanar in Fulado nearly, Nyamina.
It's a very big
Casamas region.
Casamas is big.
But the problem is, like he said, the timber trade has an infrastructure. Now, even if you take timber from Nyamanar, that is meant to be exported. Where are you going to take it? You must come to Banjo.
Exactly.
And the people are in Buya. That's where the problem is.
I think that's the first. To me, that's the first start. The starter is let's stop the logging,
the infrastructure,
and then we see whether there will be any need for us to have any border friction again. There wouldn't be. Let them stay there. Because I know
I agree in two things.
He's talking about Dodou is talking about yes, I have been following the MFDC rebellion for a long time. When Nkrumah Sane and others were in France talking openly. In fact, at some point they even believed that France was using them to make Senegal feel that their presence in the neo-colonial setup is a necessity, because they were helping them at some point to fight the rebels. France, I know that. But it has come to a point where a lot of that idea of cutting Casamas out of Senegal has dissipated. A lot of the modern young
are no longer thinking along those lines. Okay, but then now the thing is,
but the rebels who have been in the country, who have in the
40
years, for the 40 years. Salif Sadio has been around for a long time. He's 70 years old. He's 70 years old. But what I'm trying to say is that, we have to look at his case too. At some point, they were all saying, you remember the 1998 fight between Nino Vieira and Ansumana Mane. What prompted that?
Yeah, because they accused Ansumana of siding with rebels.
Yes, selling them arms.
Yes.
Ansumana said, it was not me alone. When things were cool and dandy, Nino was also helping me give the rebels arms and ammunition.
I see.
And in their conflict in 1989, in 1998 rather, most of the rebels crossed into Casamance to help him fight that battle.
You mean Ansumana?
Ansumana. I was in Bissau. You know, they helped him. They were there with him until there was this stalemate between Niro's men.
He couldn't defeat them. Yes.
Backed by Senegal and Ansumana backed by the rebels.
Okay.
And then later on we brought Economic.
Yeah.
Economic.
They bring West African troops. They were not called Economic.
Yeah. They gave them the name.
Some name, but then West African.
No, they gave them the Ecomoc. In fact, they gave them Ecomoc.
No, it was not Ecomoc. Ecomoc was Liberia. Wherever they went, they bring new names.
Yeah. But I was there.
Yeah, okay.
I was there. Togo was there.
Yes.
They
had a name for it.
Yeah,
but then it's
Togo
the same
was
thing,
there.
West African.
Mali, I think Togo and Benin. We were there. And Gambia.
That's still a name for it.
Because they wanted
economic Bissau, yeah.
They wanted
wherever they went, they took a unique name, but then it's all West Africa.
They wanted a Anglophone country to be part of it.
Yes.
And after a while, they demanded that Senegal must withdraw.
Because of obvious reasons.
Because of our presence.
Conflict of
because of our presence there. Because Ansumana put a condition of reconciliation upon contingent to the withdrawal of the Senegalese forces. And they withdrew.
I see.
A month after, they overthrew the government of Nino Vera.
Nino Vera.
Ndur Cham was the contingent commander there. He even called me that day and said, they are attacking. I say, stay away. You cannot fight these guys. And after that,
So you wanted to say that Senegalese soldiers were propping up Nino Vera. I mean, they were protecting him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they were in
When he left,
no, we had an agreement. Senegal, Gambia, and Guinea-Bissau, that in the event of a conflict, we are going to help each other. But then, when the crisis erupted, Senegal called us and wanted us to go with them to go and help Nino.
So you see?
And we said no.
You said no, that?
Oh, yes.
All right, now.
We said no, we cannot do that.
Okay, look at a similar scenario
Let us
okay,
see.
now listen to compared to the similar, compared to this situation now here.
Yes.
Listen, if Senegal asks us now to fight MFDC, what are we going to do?
No. This is no longer about fighting. This is like overthrowing a government. In the event of overthrowing a government, they needed help from us because they saw us as a government which we had signed together. But Jammeh said, no, we would rather have peace.
Yes.
To see that we don't go to war than we have.
We have to support one side, yes.
But Senegal left alone. And then when the war came to stalemate, in fact, the French ambassador then in France, in Senegal, appealed to us. They funded us, and we went together. I led the contingent commander was Peter Singate. I remember.
Yes.
We went there, and when we arrived there, the Senegalese were very hostile to us. There was this Colonel Kony who said that we heard that you are coming to support Ansumana Mane because he's a Gambian. Bad intelligence. And I went to his office and we sat down together and I told him, look, we are not here for this. We are here for peace. We are our brothers. We are all brothers. And they allowed us to go across, have our base, and we were the only unit that could move from Ansumana's base to Nino's house. Nino to Ansumana. And Ansumana also identified with us. He was saying, Gambian. We are very close. In fact, if you look at my book.
Your book, it was there.
Yeah, there was a meeting here. There was a meeting in
Ghana. So I am just trying to tell you that at that time, the rebellion in Casamance, then EFOC was alive. It was like that with Ansumana. So when it came to where, they restored the new government of, what's the name of the guy again after Nino? What do they read?
He died.
Kumbayala. He changed the dynamics and wanted to make Guinea-Bissau for the first time a sophisticated, non-post,
non-allied
revolution scenario, because it was all about post-revolution. Everything. You have Minister of Veterans.
Yes, veterans.
Every year, every day, they go to, every month, nobody works, everybody was armed, get their pistol, give me money every month. But then, when that happened,
Kamajos.
yeah, when, yeah, when that happened, Vera Nino Ansumana, this guy Kumbayala wanted to upgrade the army and make it more sophisticated and more perceptible to the world, where he need educated men. Ansumana's deputy was Verissimo, General Verissimo. He always sat beside him. He could read and write. He was trained in Russia. And they made him chief of defense staff. And Ansumana said, no.
That should not happen.
That shouldn't happen. You cannot put him over me.
I remember he stripped them of their medals. And
that's what brought the conflict.
And
Ansumana tried to move to Casamas.
he was killed.
To ally with the rebels. They killed him.
Yeah.
And since that time, all the rebels who were within the Bissau border moved over down to our border. I am telling you something that I have been following seriously.
It has been said, yeah, it has been reported.
You know, and now, all right, for so long, I think that is why they were accusing Jammeh of being harboring them or doing so many things, sympathetic to them. But they were around. But I did not know that they have this fighting capability. I did not know that they were also, you know, but I knew there was this logging business they are into it. That I know. But the independence issue, that thing is out of the way. I don't see Casamas, you know, from that perspective anymore. With the new political...
It looks like they are still, it's even a more glorified cause for them.
I see this guy, what's his name? Salifu, in the same way I am seeing Ansumana. Because Ansumana at some point in Bissau was seen as a mythical guy. He disappears, he does that, he does that. That is why his body was shown to the Bissau people.
Yeah, so that
they know that he was just a human being, he has died. You know, and I think since then, Bissau has relatively stabilized to some great extent. Because
until recently.
Yes, but they fail. They fail.
But then they said the threat is still, that's why ECOWAS is moving troops there now.
But what I'm now saying also, we are facing the same threat with this armed people and at the border, at the login and all these things. Let's start from stopping the login for our own security.
All right. Okay, that's where in fact what can be done now, you know, to solve the problem, to get us away from this, from being seen to be siding with one side or the other.
I mean, I will still stick to the issue of security. For me, there cannot be no meaningful development in the absence of security. Let's not only restricting to stopping the logging business. You know, we all on social media. I was in one forum I exited. I know a few Gambians who are currently residing in Casamas, crisscrossing Casamas, Gambia. Even making audios when the coup d'etat happened in Guinea-Bissau. The guy said that Barrow is next. I'm telling you audios, and people in that forum could attest to it. And this is a Gambian now currently there. I cannot say with the rebels or with this or that, but he said anybody who crossed the border, heads are going to roll. And it is the same people who are threatening others that, you know, he even told me that if Jammeh comes back to this country, they will arrest all of us. What are they cooking? What are they clinging onto? Now, wherever they say threat,
the other dynamics.
Wherever they say threat, don't take it lightly. You don't wait for things to happen, then you intervene. I always say, where is the prevention part of it? Before you wait for chaos to take place, then you intervene. We should now start preventing rather than, you know, intervention. This is my query, my challenge to those in charge of our security. You know, when you do your job accordingly, patrol, securing our border, people go to bed and they sleep peacefully.
That is correct.
But if you leave them on their own and the threats are there, even if it does not happen, they continue to live in fear.
Yes,
this is what we need to eradicate first.
I want to add that something there. You see, like the issue of the junglers is what stigmatized the patrolling operation of this country, which was started well around 1997. 1997, we started the patrol.
Okay.
And it was very effective. In fact, that is what stopped the Katong attack because they had already taken the
Khartoum barracks.
taken over the camp, loaded all the weapons in an ambulance,
Yes,
and
it
we
was
are driving to mile 2 to break the prisons and arm those rebels to come out for a fight. When they were intercepted by our patrol.
Patrol team, yes.
So we are constantly in patrol, and we were communicating and everything. Of course, when the junglers came, they called them the junglers. We took it perhaps to another level, different from what we used to know.
What used to know, which was just.
But it is very important for to re-establish this patrol, and when we say we ban the logging in this country, the market of logging. They can also take up stopping from loggers, because I don't think they can even smuggle anything if we ban it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
some survive on it. They will put their neck on the guillotine, either succeed or die. They will, I can guarantee you.
If the government bans it here, no, how are you going to get it? Because it's shipped out of the country.
Drugs are banned.
It doesn't.
But it is still
Like these issues.
Drugs, size-wise.
No, I'm just giving you an example. The risk involved.
Yes.
The risk involved, but they will still try because of the money.
Yeah,
it is their survival.
He's trying to say that where you have a lot of money passing through
exactly,
hands,
people will
it's
take
very
this.
difficult to abolish such kind of threat.
And it becomes more expensive.
For example, and even more illicit commodity like drug.
Yes.
It's still been transported. Only
they will try.
Only
Yes, but I
3
think
tons of cocaine came to our
but I
port.
think it's easier. It's far easier to smuggle and maneuver your way through borders with drugs.
Yes.
Than logs.
Quite agree.
And then in drugs, when you fail, sometimes. But you see the locks carried in this drugs.
But without security presence, they will still try to track.
But
No,
then,
but
I'm talking about. The patrol will continue.
Yes.
Yeah, the patrol will continue. We will look at it. We will, stop it. But first and foremost, you gotta kill the snake by cutting the head, and the head is here.
Yeah.
The head, we have to stop the business here.
Yes.
And then I don't know, all this. I have been reading all these permits they are giving to these idiots. I call them idiots because they are destroying. I hate people who don't respect security, because they're gonna burn this country down for us, for their pockets, and they will be consumed along in the way.
As I said, enforce the security.
Yeah. So this is it. But I as much as I want this to happen, I definitely don't like to have rebels in our border.
I mean, they know
it is their border.
there is their area.
I don't want them to, and then
because they don't have to cross the border, but we're sharing the border.
I don't. They're too close to my.
For me, my
own men on the ground.
Class for my. I know one thing. The Gambia army, if treated the way they are supposed to be treated, given their entitlement and their dues, no rebel will dare cross here.
That
They
is
will
what
fight
I am
them.
calling for.
simple as that.
They will fight them.
Tighter security,
Oh,
and
yes.
then the
Let our
patrol
security
area.
take charge.
Oh yes.
Yeah. But then
Because you see-
the other issue, we're talking about this incident. I think there's the people that are caught into the problem, like the residents. The first thing first is to, help them, go back into their communities.
That's
And I think that's, for me, that's the first thing that our government need to start doing.
What's the victim center doing about this one?
Oh, this is
That's a huge one. This is victims.
no, but it's
It's a different thing. These people need relief, immediate relief.
Yeah, they need immediate relief, and even
assurance of
the, but even
assurance for
the issue of the
Oh,
victim
yeah,
center
this
also.
TRRC next.
Assurance of security.
I mean, victims must be taken care of. Both those in the victim, from the TRRC and this current one. These ones are displaced, and what needs to be done is to ensure, that they are comfortable enough to go back home.
Exactly.
And we even spoke to the councillor from Kararo, one of the villages there, who is currently in Bujinga. And then they're talking about this fear of even landmines, that perhaps our security needs to go.
They normally do that.
they know.
That
Yes,
is one of the tactics of the rebels.
so they need to go there and then clear the place, and then so that they can also, be able to have
At
that
least
comfort.
use some mine detectives.
Yeah.
to
So there are a lot of
assure
issues
them
that they
there
want
are
to,
no mines.
So,
to.
gentlemen, what is the solution?
That's what we are saying. For me, my solution is, one, short-term measures. If this contingent are under, if they're under the economic, one, they need to be rotated. Move them out, at least to give the people a peace of mind. They're not against economic. They what is stopping other, Ghanaians or Nigerians being thrown at that area? Because now what is happening, what has been created is that you have two enemies, and then you have our people being caught in between. And when that issue happened, like what happened, our people would be in trouble, and we cannot solve a problem with that. They will get angry, and they're already getting angry because they've been left. They've been left alone, and that is not what we're supposed to do.
What about revisiting what we had during the Confederation? Which is like, I know that these peacekeepers in this country are paid by the European Union.
Well, that used to be.
Formally.
Is it not ECOWAS now?
Yeah, no. Well, now there is nothing clear in this country.
I got it reliably. No.
The EU stopped.
No. European Union is paying them.
Well.
European Union is paying them. And they are paying them like peacekeepers internationally.
Like international rate.
Which is very lucrative. And I understand everyone who comes here before you go, buy stuff, big stuff.
So they help the local economy.
Around town.
Yes,
that's good. If they're helping the local economy, is good.
No.
There's no problem with that.
Now, what we can do, instead of, I think they send about 1,000 Senegalese.
Well,
before the
initially, when there was before the elections, when there was accusations that Senegalese troops have been brought for the purpose of election.
Yes.
The government wanted to clarify that the 750 or so soldiers are part of the economic normal.
Thank you. Yes.
Normal.
That's it. About 750. So because I was hearing within that range, 750 to
800.
Okay. Right. Now, why not, instead of 750 Senegalese coming, let's say 500 Senegalese and 250 Gambians combined with them to work in the joint patrol. Put them in economic uniforms
and pay them as economic.
And the Gambia army will be rotating every 6 months or so, and they will have a stake in not only protecting the government, but protecting their interests too. They will see that, hey, this is a life I don't want to lose. Because you're talking about being paid $4,000 a month. To, if you look at $100 a day, they will be paid $15,000 a month.
A month or more.
Yes, this is what we used to have in the Confederation. When I was leaving the Gambia Army as a second lieutenant in 1987, I was paid $1,200 a month. I went to the Confederation with the same rank, and I was paid $5,000 a month.
At that time,
so money. It was he. I was ready to die to maintain the Confederation.
Yes.
So
when the two governments fell apart.
So what I'm now looking at is, why don't we try to look into that same arrangement?
Yes.
And when they are going to face that could cause confrontation, they leave the Gambians to lead the force. On which we not only would we break that language barrier. Because sometimes you go, these Senegalese are speaking Wolof, these guys are speaking Mandinka or Jola. But if you have a combination of all, we will be able to communicate with all of them, especially those in the border. They will be able to warn the Gambians, because they will say, these are our people, be mindful of this, be mindful of that. But Senegal alone and their presence since they arrived at Foni was hostility.
So
if the Foninkas see them walking into a rebel base, they will tell them, oh, that's the right way, just go ahead. So that just they can tell them.
But in this case, they were one.
They said El won.
Can I ask this
that's
question?
where the issue is.
As a former commander, army officer, in peacekeeping in other countries, you might have ECOWAS or UN troops, etc. Like that particular country, their own men in uniform, their own soldiers, are they always not part of it?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because it's
not necessarily.
It's in fact, in many cases, it's the lack of trust on the side of that.
The lack of trust of the security there.
That's what brings
that necessitates the deployment of foreign troops.
In most cases, that's how.
Of course, to some extent, they will respect an element of their government, but not that much.
Not that much.
But in the case of the Gambia, we have we have done this before during the Confederation.
We work with the Senegalese.
Because when they disintegrated the security of the country, the field force and all that,
and everything,
they came to establish a new force. They had new defense policies, security policies, everything geared towards a federation. That was the objective.
Yes. I remember
opposition
politicians were very much against.
The security was excellent, but when it came to the politics and the economy, that's what failed the whole thing.
Always.
And now I am saying that let's forget about the economy, let's forget about the politics. Let's walk into exploring the possibility of implementing that confederal protocol, which was excellent. In that case, we can work together, we can function together, we will benefit equally like that.
In that case, there will be more tolerance and more
trust. Yes, more trust. And then, we will go up together now. If any class happen, hey, this is Gambia and Senegal, and then we cut the business. This business of timber is our Achilles heel. If we don't cut it, it's going to bring us down.
Well, gentlemen, we are wrapping up. What do you make of this? Should we, as a country, stop the timber business? Or do we have to, in order to solve this problem, do we have to withdraw Economic Senegal from Fonyi?
Well, I would definitely support the stop of this business, this timber, because it is part of the root cause of the problem. And it's like a supply line that we need to cut. It will help to ease the tension or whatever it's fanning that fire. It will definitely help it. But I will die with this. Our security must take charge. This is my belief.
Sait?
I will second Dodou. First, we need to stop the timber. I think we all agree on that because, of course, that's creating problem. But secondly, I think for short-term measure, Senegal needs to be out of Fonyi. So that our people will not be caught between two enemies. Deploy anybody that you want. But secondly, our security also need to be around the border. They've been doing that, and even the people say that they've been doing that, but since these people came, they haven't been seeing them. It seems like we kind of outsource our security. No country can outsource their own security. Exactly. At the end of the day, it's about our lives, it's about our livelihood, it's about our country, our children's future, and these are issues that we need to take seriously. But, the most important part is that our government need to be accountable, they need to be transparent, they need to tell us exactly what is happening, because they cannot be quiet and then, risking our lives while they are protecting themselves and then allowing people to be there like that. Those issues shouldn't be tolerated, and everybody should be angry about what is happening and the reticent. And what we need to do, again, I am more for peace. I think, peaceful ways, dialogue, it takes longer time, but I think if people are sitting around the same table talking, that will kind of prevent them from going to the bush for to fight, and those things need to be. If Gambia is to contribute in one way, is to ensure that we bring all these different factions. Senegal, currently we have a very good relationship. Let them bring them on the table, and the rebels also on the table, and then we discuss about these issues. Because now, whether we know it or not, we are affected, and the way and the sooner we solve this issue, I think the better for all of us.
Good, Sait Matty,
well said.
Lecturer at the University of the Gambia, and Colonel Sheriff Shamsuddin Sarr, and Dodou Ja. Thank you all, gentlemen, for your thoughts on this matter. We wanted to discuss football, of course, but then when we come back, we would have known who the African champions will be. Who do you think it will be between Egypt and Senegal?
Let it come to Senegambia. At least for me, that's
I am for Senegal.
Yeah.
I will predict that the final will not go into penalties, and whoever scores first is going to win.
Oh, you don't want penalties.
You did not predict anything. This guy did not predict anything.
And I assume
no, you have to choose someone.
I know when Senegal win will not be safe, but in terms of the tone, but at the end of the day, at least it is close. We're there. At least it's close for me.
Look at the composition of the Senegalese force, the Senegalese team.
You still cannot forget
the Senegalese team.
Yes.
We have everybody here.
It's a force of different.
Everybody there.
Everybody's there. The Sarr,
the
police,
Yes, everybody's there.
The Manes,
Everybody's there.
the Kulubaris, you know.
One people in two countries.
Yeah. So it shows that, and this is going to be celebrated by Senegal, Casamas as one country.
Yes, that's
You
one
know.
thing that divides
So,
them.
I mean,
That
like,
unites them.
Sadio
Sadio Mane.
Mane is from
Casamas.
Casamas. Bambali, and I understand he paid for a lot of Senegalese to go and
50
even
or
witness.
so people to come.
And he talks in terms of Senegal.
Well, that's what you've been talking.
Yes.
You said people of the modern era, whether they are in whatever field, are more Senegal.
We were talking about,
and you know, Senegal, Casamance provided most of the football talents in Senegal than even the northern part. Everybody walk at this. I mean, Ali was he comes from.
Well, it's a mixture.
Yeah.
It's a mixture.
All right, we'll be back next week. Until then, thank you very much, and thanks for watching us.
Gamcell data, now even better. Enjoy 20% extra data on all Gamcell data bundles. Buy 20 megabytes and get extra 4 megabytes. Buy 50 megabytes and get extra 10 megabytes. Buy 100 megabytes and get extra 20 megabytes. Any amount of Gamcell data bundle you buy, you will receive 20% extra data for free. Dial *302* data amount hash or go to your Yaiborom menu and choose your data bundle now. Gamcell data, it's fast, lasts longer and very reliable. Gamcell Yaiborom.
Planning to have an uninterrupted electricity and water supply from solar energy in the Gambia and beyond? Worry no more, because Solar Enterprise will provide you with the solutions at reasonable cost. We have experienced personnel who can install and advise you about your electricity and water supply with a warranty period. We have good quality solar products from North America and Europe. We provide services and sell products to individuals, organizations, institutions, private offices, communities, and government. These products are solar panels, batteries, charge controllers, inverters, water pump, water heaters, freezers, submersible pumps, and general solar accessories. Visit our stores at 48 Karaba Avenue and Brusubi Highway, or you can call us on 7657 479 980 8483 340 9400 or 635 9906.
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship, Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.